Well, Miss Uzo Aduba, I'm finally glad we were able to make this happen. I'm so happy
Me
to talk to
too.
you. Yay!
Yes, me too.
So let's just give the people a little snippet of how we actually met. Because I say, I
Yeah.
know her, and people be like giving me side eye, like, yeah, girl, sure you do. So I'm just going to, and correct
From
me
before, let's be clear.
before. So correct me if I'm wrong in saying any of this. We were at an audition for Sister Act. And
Yes, that's correct.
it was we were at an audition for Sister Act the musical before it went to Broadway. They were getting
Yep.
ready to take it to London, I
London.
believe.
Yeah.
And I was sitting out there with my little iPod. Remember when we had iPods? Sitting out there with
Yes.
my little
Learning the
iPod.
music.
Sitting out there with my little iPod, listening to the music, going over my lyrics like I didn't know them because I had done the workshop out here in Pasadena at the Pasadena Playhouse. So I'm
Yes.
sitting there, and you came flying in there like a tornado, and you were like, "Are they behind? Are they?" And you so verklempt, and then you shared, you like, "I just got this music. I haven't even
I don't
listened
know.
to it. Like, I don't know it. I haven't listened to it." I was like, "Here, girl, you can listen to it."
Yes.
You like, you just gonna give me your app? You just gonna let me?
I
I said, "Look, it ain't like I don't know where to find you. If I come out here and you gone, I will find you."
I'm not foolish, but I'm just saying,
Like
like,
that.
yeah.
But I never forgot that. And then the next time I saw you, I think I was walking down 8th Avenue in between shows or something. And there you were with a friend of yours. You were like, "That's the girl."
Yeah, oh yes, who helped me? Yeah.
You
Who
remember
helped
that?
me in my audition? You know what? And I remember that also because I remember I had just been at my sister had just had a baby. I had just come from visiting her in Virginia, like the day on the plane, trying to learn this music. Had no idea. And here's why I remember it because the thing about, and you know this, probably have had this experience as well. When you go into auditions, sometimes you have some women who are supports and strength. And sometimes you have women who maybe they're going through something that shady, but I'll try and give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you're having
Yeah,
a hard
I'm
day
gonna
today.
say it.
Like,
Shady.
and I remember it because I did not know you. We did not know each other. But
No,
I was
not at
like,
all.
how amazing this woman. And these are the moments that you just like have to stand and remember be like, this is how I want to move. This is how I want to be around, who I want to be around. How amazing this woman. We're reading for the same part. She obviously is auditioning today and has not yet gone in. Do you know what I'm saying? So you
No.
have work to do yourself. You know, it's not like you're coming out, you've had your audition and you're letting me listen to it. You have work to do yourself and is still extending herself to me. And I just remember being so appreciative and so grateful for it. And I was like, Carla Renata. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
that's just how
generous heart.
that's just how I kind of roll through life. I don't believe in I believe this is what I believe in terms of the auditioning process. If something's meant for you, it's meant for you. Me not letting you listen to that music that day wasn't going to put me any step closer to me getting that part. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
And I knew
That's
that
right.
I knew it. And I knew that if I didn't know it by then, wasn't nothing going to help me in the miraculously 5 minutes that I had to go in the room.
And
So,
yet I thought.
and you know, but it was hilarious. But what I'm so proud of and most happy of is that it speaks to your character too, because some moments happen like that with people. And when you run into them later in life, or 2 weeks later, or a week later,
Mm.
they act like they don't remember that happened. And you're like, okay. And you know what I mean? But you remembered, and you remembered, and you decided that I was a kind person as a result of it. For that, I
Yes.
thank you, and I appreciate you communicating that to me today. So thank you for
Oh
that.
my gosh, absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
and I've watched your career grow and blossom. I've watched you grow and blossom as an actress. I remember when you got hair. I remember that.
God, oh my gosh.
I remember when you got hair. I mean, I remember so many things, but I got a memory like an elephant. I don't forget nothing. I really do. It's like a blessing and a curse. But I want to talk to you about a couple of things. So first of all, we're going through this metamorphosis moment in the
Mm,
entertainment industry. Black people are
mm-hmm.
speaking up, they
Yep.
speaking out. They
Yes.
folk are talking about how anywhere from how people have been treated as a person of color on a set by hair and makeup to playwrights talking about pitching their projects and being told that there's no audience for a play written by a person of color. What are your thoughts about all of this that's going on right now? Because I know how I feel about it, but I'm just interested to know what you think about it.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. Um, you know, I think I think it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful in terms of the bravery, volume, and insistence that is happening right now in the industry as far as Black people, people of color speaking up for themselves, but specifically Black people in this moment. I think it is incredibly important. I think it is necessary. I think this is how real change happens. And I think it happens because you can't unknow something. And that's not to say that we haven't said things before in the past, but I think when you have an entire community galvanized and prepared to speak openly, graphically, honestly about the injustices that have been faced regularly, the inequities, the obstacles, all of those things, you can't unknow it. And I think also what is so powerful about this time, what makes it really exciting is understanding, having an understanding of what collective power really means. In
Absolutely.
other words, we have ourselves who are out here speaking up, but also knowing we have the voting power of these really amazing young people who are out every single day marching, protesting, and their voting dollars are very strong right now, right? And so I think this is a moment of change. This is a moment of a sea change. And I think it will happen, hopefully willingly, by the powers that be, but I think it will happen even if they have to come kicking and screaming, because the people who are going to see these movies, who are going to see these plays, who are watching these TV shows, who are buying the magazines, these young people especially have told the world how they want the world to show itself. And so they have really, and I'm, you know, I'm excited to see like teenagers, you know what I mean? Like early 20 somethings who are really insistent in showing up in that way. I think they will. And I think that's what will inevitably breed change. And so I'm really glad that the people who are in our side of the industry are speaking up, standing up for ourselves. You know, I had posted on Instagram, um, maybe even over a year or two ago, this quote that I had seen scribbled on spray painted on the side of a building. And it
Uh-huh.
said, "Speak the truth, even if your voice shakes." And I
Ooh,
loved it.
I love that.
Isn't that
Ooh,
great?
I'm gonna have to steal that. That's fabulous.
Yeah, and you can find the picture. I'll send it to you, but it's like
Yeah.
it's beautiful because it's like that is this moment. You know what I mean? It's scary to say a true thing that maybe not everybody wants to hear or feels ready to hear. It's scary, but you have to say it anyway. You have to speak up, even if that means you're in that room. When you're the only person in that room, whether it's speaking to your representation, whether it's speaking to your director, whether it's speaking to the writers, and say what is, because I'm a believer in that. You can't tell me later that I didn't say anything. No one will ever be able to tell me later on anything that I didn't say something. I said something. Whether you
Right.
listened or not is another thing. I said something.
You're right. Look, we've all been in the room where it happens. You know what I'm saying? We have all been there.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that quote. That's a fabulous quote. Speaking of which, you've been fortunate because you've worked with some people who have very broad ideology of what people on camera should look like. The first one being Genji Cohen, because Genji Cohen creates these shows
Yeah.
that are just, they are rooted in the world that we navigate in, not some world that doesn't exist, not
That's right.
some not some world where we don't see people milling about and communicating with each other. And Orange was groundbreaking for that reason. You had people that were from all different nationalities, but you also had all these women who weren't a size two.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody looked like what normal people look like. And
Yeah.
and I know that you probably have answered this a zillion times during the course of the time that the show was on the air. But for me, if you wouldn't mind, just
Yeah.
speak to that for a second. Being on a show that it was different. Not only was it groundbreaking, but it was different. And it was different in a good way.
Absolutely. I think what was so exciting about it was it's taking not only were we telling new stories, but we were seeing new storytellers tell new stories.
Right.
And that was what our superpower was, I think. Our capes was our ability to exist just as we are in the world. And I thought it was incredible. You take my friend and castmate Dasha Polanco, for example.
I
Beautiful,
love
beautiful
Dasha.
girl. The best. She's the best.
I
Beautiful,
did
the
a
best.
commercial with her, girl, where I had to speak
Oh no
Spanish and she had to help me.
way. And she will, because she is
And she did
fluent
that
native
down.
speaker.
Yeah,
Yes,
but go
she's the
ahead.
best. Hilarious, good time. But look at that amazing opportunity. She was the romantic lead in our show. A woman we don't always get to see be
Right,
that the desired one, not just
right.
and not in a fetishized way, really desired by in the storytelling, and we should be seeing her in that space all the time. She should be existing in that space all of the time. And so that was really exciting to see all of these different characters, myself, to Danielle Brooks, who played Tasty, Adrienne Moore playing Black Cindy, Samira Wiley as Poussey, the range, Selene Slava, all of these different women coexisting on a single show. And I think what was exciting to know is that it was, at the time, this great experiment, but then when the show came out, you really realized what the world had been thirsty for.
Yeah,
That this,
representation. That's what we thirsty for.
yes,
I saw a might have been an Instagram post last night of a little Asian girl was watching Hamilton with her mommy on a laptop. And
okay,
when Philippa Sue showed up on the screen, the little girl was, whenever Philippa would show up on the screen when she was singing Helpless, right? The little
yeah,
girl
yeah,
was pointing, and she said, "What are you pointing at?" And she says, me." And the mommy said, "That's
I
you." She
love it.
said, "Me,
Yeah,
me."
yeah.
And that just goes to speak to what you said. Representation is so important, that you see people that look like you, because when you see someone that looks like you, it makes you believe that it's possible.
That's right. Absolutely. It expands the imagination for everybody. The possibility of what exists out there for you. That little girl you were talking about, whether she takes this path or not in her life as she grows up, she now has the imagination to see herself as the lead, central to the story, as the,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying, and not
Exactly.
supporting the story, not to the left of somebody else's story, not advancing another person's story, but the center of the story, as she should.
As she should. I had seen Miss Virginia a little while ago,
Oh,
but then I
okay.
rewatched it because I knew I was going to talk to you, and I felt like it. They need to re-air it. Like, it
Mm,
needs to be restreamed or whatever, because it's so important to what's happening right now.
mm,
Right now, even though
mm-hmm.
that was a story that was set in a very specific time, we're
Mm-hmm.
still dealing with the gross injustice of education, especially in the Washington D.C. area, which is embarrassing because that's the nation's capital, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But this woman, Virginia Walden, I loved how she was like, this is not going to happen to me. This is not going to happen to my kid. And I love that her journey took her from working in the building, cleaning toilets for that representative, to then having to confront that same representative
Mm-hmm.
about that gross injustice. And I just
Yeah.
wanted to know from you, how important was it for you to play that type of character? Because not only was this a character you were playing, but this is a real life person. This actually happened to somebody.
Yes, absolutely. You know, I think it was, first of all, it was remarkable to know that this woman, this mother, was that courageous, that intent to see her child's life go further than her own. And I mean, that just speaks to the power of a mother, the power of support. You know, when you really want to make a change and a dream come true. And she changed with that passage of that bill so many lives in the city of Washington at that time. It was powerful. It was my first time playing a real person. I'd never played a real person before. So that was,
great.
thank you. Thank you. It was a lot to sit and listen to her story, get to know her, understand her passion. She was this really, she had a quiet voice, but you knew she was somebody you didn't want to mess with. She had
Always the ones though, the ones with that quiet voice, they'll cut you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
My
You
mama's
knew
like
she was
that.
powerful. You knew she was strong, and she had strong mind, and was finding her voice along the way. And yeah, it was amazing. I thought that was an amazing piece. I got to work with another old friend of mine, Amira Vaughn, on that project, who I also knew from theater days in New York, who went on to go and be part of How to Get Away with Murder. And
She was
yeah,
fabulous.
oh, she's fabulous. She's so wonderful.
She's so
It was
wonderful. And Ingenue Ellis is in that.
Ingenue, who I also know. Yes, exactly.
Yes, I know
Ingenue,
her from back in the
exactly.
day too, girl. Me and her used to be on commercial calls.
Yes, who's also
Yeah.
now, she's amazing. You know, she just was fabulous in the Clark Sisters.
And when they see us, yeah.
And then When They See Us, also last season.
Mm-hmm.
She's, you know, it was wonderful. It was wonderful being with these immense talents, these wonderful spirits, and to tell a story. To tell a story of hope and progress, I think was great.
Yeah. So just to close it out, girl, so that we can end on a high note,
Yeah.
since we've been so serious and whatnot, what are you streaming right now? Are you streaming anything? Are you catching up on some shows? Are you
Oh, yes.
just chilling? You watching some movies? What you doing?
I just finished watching Never Have I Ever on Netflix. Have you
Oh,
watched it?
I haven't.
Mindy Kaling's new show. Everybody should watch it. It's really great. Really, really great. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. What else obviously, I mean, this is old school, but I watched Tiger King, I feel like the first night, like it came out. I was like, this is amazing. Everybody needs to watch it. This is insane. What else did I watch? What have I watched? I watched, I've been watching, like I just watched yesterday, Something New, the movie that's old. I've been
Yeah.
watching older movies. Soul Food I just watched the other day. Older stuff, but Never Have I Ever. That was a show I just recently finished watching. It was great. It was really, really cute.
Cool. Well, I'm not gonna take no more of your time, sis, this morning. Yeah, it is morning, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's morning over here.
Ooh.
It's
So,
morning for you.
girl, it's the butt crack for me, but it's all good. It was worth it to get up and talk to you because I love you. I love you
You
to death.
too.
I love your work. I love your ethic. I love you as a person that's navigating on this earth. You're so special. You're so special and so wonderful and consistent, you know. And I appreciate that. I really do.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You are amazing. That voice singing down, that talent. And I really do appreciate you having me on. I think this is amazing what you're doing. Please continue to lift all the voices lift us up, keeping space, holding space for us. It's appreciated. It really is.
Oh, girl, of course, I got us. If nobody else got us, I do.
I know you do. I know you do.
Well, I'm gonna let you go, sis, and go do your thing. But
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much. God bless, Carla.
Bless
Be
you too,
well.
Uzo.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
Bye.
To keep up with the Curvy Critic, like our page here, click that subscribe button, and click that bell for notifications. Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.